So we got one level down. We're halfway to our objective for moving on.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Congratulations, John. You joined us for the most exciting game we do on this Let's Play.
I know. But you know what? You fucking picked it, so you fucking have to deal. No, we would have gotten to it.
Yeah, that's true.
We would have gotten to it eventually, so it's... And you know what? I like this game. That's the worst part about it. I like it. And even with the endless grind, I still don't like it any less, and I cannot explain to you why, because there is no story. This game does nothing for hours. We're on episode fucking... Oh, I don't know. Christ, I don't even know what episode we're on in the series. It's like... It has to be in, like, the high teens at this point. I don't even know. And, like, we've done...
Yeah, something like that.
We've done, like, 4 things. We got the hero ring. No, the warrior ring's what it's called. Hero ring's something totally different. We got the fucking silver harp or whatever. We've done like little or nothing, and we're like several episodes in. Though I'm pretty sure the end is coming soon. So then we can play something a little more interesting.
The end is coming for us all.
He has come to reap the sinners. But we were talking about comic books, and something came to mind.
Yes.
I've been watching Comic Book Men, and I'm pretty good with it.
Okay.
I like that. Have you seen? Have you been?
I've seen a couple episodes of it, not terribly many.
Yeah. All I know is, Oh, go ahead. You were gonna say something?
No, I watched an episode where they were talking about what their favorite fights in comics were, and somebody brought up Kingdom Come, Superman versus Shazam, and I was like, I'm sorry, who?
Captain Marvel.
Want to run that by me one more time?
What?
It's just the whole Captain Marvel is not Shazam, or at least he was not, and then I guess the U-52 wanted to end the confusion and just called the character Shazam.
Yeah.
Like, no, because Shazam is the entity that he's calling on power from.
Actually, the DC comic book cards that I had called him Shazam.
Well, the DC comic cards you had were wrong.
Have, motherfucker. I still have them sons of bitches. I have 2 series of Marvel. What?
There is a trope on TV Tropes whose name that is called "My Name Is Not Shazam." That's how much not Shazam the character is.
All right. His name's Billy West, right?
Billy Batson.
Billy Batson, right?
Unless they changed that too now, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think so. See, I used to have all of this knowledge because I would read those cards. Like, I would read them front to back because there's all this information on them. There's stats and everything. It was awesome. Well, the stats were on the Marvel cards.
The Marvel website used to have like a stat system for each of its characters, and my friend Joel and I went through them, and some of them are just not accurate.
Yeah.
Like, for whatever reason, like it was strength, speed, durability, energy projection, combat experience or combat technique, basically. And for whatever reason, Captain America's combat experience was not maxed out. Like, Storm's combat experience was maxed out, but Captain America's is not.
What?
I think that Storm was, like, statistically, according to the Marvel site, the most powerful being in the Marvel Universe.
What happens to a toad that gets hit by lightning?
A terrible movie, that's what.
What? Which one was that from?
That was the first X-Men movie.
You know something? I really didn't think that movie was that terrible.
The problem with the first X-Men movie was that it came out around a time that we were really starting to master, like, computer-generated effects,
Yeah.
and a lot of these filmmakers were just itching to show the biggest effects, like to push it one step beyond. And I really think that the first X-Men movie in particular was a lot more about, okay, how can we make the powers look real, more than it was making a good story.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest with you here. X-Men 1 and 2, I fucking love. I love those movies. X-Men 3 can suck my dick.
I like X-Men 2 just because it has Nightcrawler in it, and
Yeah.
Nightcrawler was my favorite X-Men.
Yeah. Nightcrawler was
And I thought it was a really good portrayal
yeah, he
of the
was
character.
really fucking good. And they also, and if you listen to context, they actually did the teleportation power pretty good too. It's like I can't see where I'm going. I don't. Like he's actually kind of afraid of his power sometimes, and they didn't just make
Yeah,
him into
like where he
this.
could end up if he's not character.
Yeah, like they didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't try to over badass him since he was like the new side character that was all this and that. They actually made him an actual fleshed out character. But yeah, X-Men 3 was complete garbage.
Though I will say, like, Kelsey Grammer as Beast is one of the best casting choices in comic book movies.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Fucking... And then don't get me started on X-Men Origins Wolverine either. Fuck that movie.
I didn't even see that movie. Like, I watched the trailer and just went, nope.
Dude,
Not worth it.
They take away Deadpool's mouth, dude. Like, before he even becomes Deadpool, his mouth is gone. Did they really think that was a good fucking idea?
We gotta make Deadpool dark and edgy because that's why the character's popular and people want to see him, right?
No. The guy walking... Like, Ryan Reynolds was a great, great, great fucking choice for that character, too. But then they fucked it all up.
The problem is that, you know, the executives, they hear that a character like Deadpool's popular. And they go, okay, well, then we need to add Deadpool in this because it'll be a big draw. But they never take the effort to figure out why Deadpool is a popular character. Like, they take, okay, Deadpool's cool, people like Deadpool, here's what we think makes up a cool character, so we'll just implant those traits onto Deadpool.
Yeah, I honestly think Deadpool's best portrayal was from Hulk versus.
Oh, yes.
Hulk versus Wolverine was amazing.
I've seen clips of him on Spectacular Spider-Man, I think it is, and he's pretty good there, too.
I shot him in the ass.
But you
What
need
are
him in a...
these?
You need Deadpool in a format that's not, like, rated PG or
Yeah.
PG-13.
Yeah. Oh, God. The merc with a mouth without a goddamn mouth. What were they thinking?
Hi, John. I don't know why you said hi again.
Oh, I hate X-Men 3, Nightcrawler is a boss. Hells to the yeah. I think it's because we were, like, sitting here talking and we forgot he was there. We're like two neglectful parents.
I do wish that Colossus got more, like... got more of a role, at least in, like, X-Men 2.
Yeah. Yeah, X-Men 2 was the one where, like, you didn't even see his powers. You just saw him... Or no, did he go all...
You saw his powers because they were trying to shoot everyone with tranquilizers, and then, like, Colossus just turned metal and went, what you got?
Yeah, because I remember him punching the wall to reveal the secret passageway, but I didn't remember his powers. And then it was basically...
But, like, Wolverine tells him, like, okay, lead the kids to safety, take care of them, and I'm like... Okay, I'm actually kind of interested. Where did Colossus take them? What is going on with all the other students of the Xavier Institute right now?
Not the main story, doesn't matter. Wolverine and
Wolverine's
Stryker
not in it, who
relationship, big
cares?
deal. Because this is the Wolverine movie.
I've said it umpteen times in my reviews, but I'm not as big of a Wolverine fan as I think everyone else is.
Yeah. I kind of am, except I really think he's like the emo kid mutant, and I'm kind of getting sick of that.
He, once again, like, he seems like what a marketing team would put together to say, this is going to be the cool character. Like, I always like it better when they make a character and he just kind of organically becomes cool.
Here's the thing that really bothers me about Wolverine, though. He really is cool. I mean, spoiler alert for nobody that knows this, but he's the child of a noble lady and like a work hand or something. And he was always sick as a child and stuff, because like he's from the 1800s. But that always gets glossed over. Like, yeah, it was an X-Men Origins Wolverine, but that movie was fucking terrible, so it was too little too late, to be honest with you. But this character
Well,
has...
it doesn't really affect him now because he can't remember it.
Yeah. That's the part that pisses me off, too. Oh, he's got a rich backstory, and, like, so many interesting things that could have happened throughout his life. Amnesia. Oh, of course. Why not? Sure, the adamantium skeleton, he doesn't remember anything. Okay, cool.
I like how they keep, like, bits of his past from basically, like, the 1980s on back a mystery to him in the comics. When you would think, like, the first time he meets Captain America, who knew him in the 40s, Captain America would have brought up some of those things that Wolverine doesn't remember.
Well, that means somebody'd have to fucking write him, and nobody could be bothered for that.
Wolverine's like, I can't remember my past before the Weapon X program. I guess the Weapon X program, I don't know if they've retconned this, but I know at one point it was supposed to have happened during the Cold War.
Everything happened during the Cold War. Iron Man's origin happened during the Cold War. Weapon X happened during the Cold War, but then everything got updated, so...
Yeah, but once again, you think like, oh, I don't remember anything about my past before here, and Captain America would, like, he's from the 40s. He's from before Logan went through all this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, but X-Men 3 was bullshit.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Colossus could have been useful there too, because now they're shooting the hypodermic needles that, like, suppress the mutant powers, and once again, Colossus has metal skin when he wants to.
And they did that with Black Cat too. Just showed her powers, but nothing came out of it.
I'm kind of confused though. The kid whose only power is that he suppresses other mutants' powers.
Yeah.
Why does he need to go to the Xavier Institute? He would be perfectly normal in an environment without mutants.
And you know what else? He should not have affected the Juggernaut. Juggernaut doesn't have mutant powers.
Yeah, but if you're going to go into the whole, like, the Juggernaut's fueled by this magic kind of thing, you'd have to put a lot more into the third movie. Well, like, it's, from a filmmaking standpoint, like, they were only feasibly able to say, he's a mutant.
See, there's a perfectly logical explanation, though, that they could have just gone into real quick, tap it real quick and go, because, like, the mutants get their powers from an evolutionary trait in their brains. Like, I guess it's like a genetical change. But if he's a human without that, bit in his brain, then end of explanation. We're done here. We can all pack up and go home. Juggernaut powers still work. They had to actually figure out something to write around that creatively, instead of just copping out, oh, Juggernaut's a mutant too, so fuck you all.
I, just as a concept, I guess overall, the X-Men like never really took hold with me, just because it seemed like just a cop out, saying, "Oh, they're just mutants, and there's this whole group of them." I'm like, okay, sure, why not?
Well, what do you mean? There's this whole group, like just the.
Just like no, it was like Stan Lee basically just gave himself license to create any character he wanted, and instead of a backstory, just say, "Oh, he's a mutant."
Except they all had backstories. They all.
Not to like how they, why they have these powers,
Well,
or
no,
why they're unique like this.
Well, that okay. I'm gonna. I know that I ask a lot, but I think I'm gonna err on the side of. Yeah, whatever. Because like the idea is that people have. I guess that does make no sense, because then fuck, evolutionarily speaking, wouldn't they? I guess they'd all have the same mutation.
Yeah, that's not how mutation works at all. One of them would have a mutation that's beneficial that would allow them to survive more, and then they would have a better chance of passing that mutation on to their children, and then their children's children, and so on, until that becomes the norm in the species. So I mean, it's absolutely nothing to do with how genetics work.
All right. Why are we talking about this? This is fucking Dragon
I don't
Warrior.
remember. How did that Wyvern thing get going? I don't know. He's a slug, a duck, a vulture, and a hummingbird.
And
He should just be writhing on the ground, going, "Kill me."
I honestly need to stop talking about science for the internet anyway, because I'm habitually wrong. We did a series of Metroid Fusion once where we were talking about space, and I found out how little I fucking knew about space.
Well, at least you learned from your mistakes, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, don't talk about science over the internet.
I don't know. Like, sometimes I question how much YouTube commenters know about science themselves.
Oh, no. It wasn't YouTube commenters. It was the guy I was talking to that had sources to cite.
He came prepared.
Well, to be fair, we do this stuff in front of our computers, and his laptop doesn't have anything to do with the proceedings. So basically, like, my laptop's there to record the audio or whatever, and his laptop's just sitting there. So I say something stupid, and he fact-checks me.
Fact checked.
Yeah. Oh.
And it's kind of useless bringing up real science and comics anyway.
Yeah.
Like how, the first Flash got his powers from hard water.
What? You're kidding me.
And the original Flash, was it Barry Allen? I think. I don't remember what the incarnation's name was.
Probably.
I feel like it was Barry Allen, but I could be easily wrong. Basically, he was a scientist at a university who was doing experiments with hard water. And he got, knocked unconscious, and he spent all night breathing in the fumes from his experiments, and suddenly he had super speed.
Yeah. I can't remember what the current Flash is basically like a lab chemical explosion or something. And I say current Flash because there's actually going to be another Flash series coming out soon. I'm gonna let that sink in.
The Flash, as far as the U-52 goes, the Flash is probably my favorite DC character at the moment.
Right.
Because the Flash, these I said this when I reviewed like U-52 Justice League, and that's that DC wants to be Marvel, is what is coming off as, because they want to like put in all these character flaws, which has never really been the selling point of DC as a whole. It's never really been like the feel of the DC characters. And the only one to not really have that is Barry Allen, or the Flash, because the Flash, as far as the Justice League goes, the Flash is the incorruptible. Like, you can piss Superman off to the point that he'll do some terrible things, but you cannot turn the Flash evil.
Yeah. I've actually seen some samples where the Flash is incredibly good to, like, his arch nemesis. Like, he's there having a drink with, like, I think it was the Trickster, and it's like, how about him? Caught me again, Flash? Yeah, be sure you turn yourself in after you finish that.
And in the Justice League Christmas episode, the Flash is the only one that makes a villain see the true meaning of Christmas.
Yeah. And I think in Injustice Gods Among Us, whenever evil Superman, or like Otherworld Superman or whatever, goes apeshit, he's the first one to walk away.
Well, in the Justice League cartoon, when they go to the alternate universe and they find the Justice Lords, the writers said that, they were pushed over the edge after the Flash died, and the only reason that they killed the Flash off in this alternate universe was because they're like, we can't think of a way that the Flash would turn evil.
Yeah.
Like, he would just never do that, so we have to kill him.
I think that's great. I think that's a wonderful thing where it's like they build up this character's persona to a point where even the writers can't even justify, like, this character's just so concrete and set in how we put him that we can't, this is so out of character that we can't even do it, you know?
And like, Superman's the big blue Boy Scout, but there is an edge he can be pushed over. He can be kind of corrupted. And you see it in graphic novels over and over, like in Red Sun and Kingdom Come, where when Superman decides that he's going to take power for the greater good, he usually becomes evil.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, Injustice.
Like, Superman to me actually becomes Superman becomes to me like an interesting character when you take into account like how kind of easily he can be corrupted.
Yeah.
Like, I know people are always like, oh, Superman's he's perfect in every way, but like, no, he's got...
Not when he's disgusted
He's kind
with
of got his own issues. Yeah.
Because that's the sort of thing...
Or in an alternate universe where his ship lands in Soviet Russia instead of the U.S., and he becomes the leader of the Communist Party.
Yeah. Yeah, life's tough. You never know what's going to happen, so...
Superman is so devoted to, like, the greater good that can be easily turned evil, whereas Flash is just devoted to doing the right thing.
Yeah. So yeah, if the Flash is your thing, then you're really going to enjoy the next video I'm going to be starting to work on here shortly.
So how are we doing on getting that second level?
Hang on. Let me check Gwainlin's Love here and see what it has to say. $1,029 experience. Jesus. Durgan Bulls has a way to go.
Durgan Burrs!
Yeah. So I'm actually going to ask you this now.
Use your sword!
Are you going to want to do more of this nonsense, or do something else?
We can switch over to Super Mario RPG.
Okay.
I've actually finished my scotch, so...
So things are going to get interesting here in about 15-20 minutes.
I suppose I do have another bottle that has some in it downstairs, but
Ooh.
we'll see.
Oh boy.
Although that's technically bourbon, not scotch.
Oh. You know something?
They're both part of the whiskey family, but they're distilled in different parts of the world.
You know something? This might be incredibly irresponsible of us, but I might crack open a drink too. So, I mean, I don't have anything. I don't have any like liquor, but I have twisted teas and don't make fun of me. I have twisted teas and like Mike's Hard Lemonade to drink that I've had for a while in the fridge. That something needs to be done to. So there you go, folks. We're going to be
This alcohol has to go.
Yeah. So basically, if our fan base is comprised of anyone younger than 21 or the age of alcohol consumption in your area, because I know YouTube is worldwide and that shit's different everywhere, either don't drink because it's against the law, or please drink responsibly.
You can drink and play video games, just don't drink and do more risky things.
Like driving. Don't do that. Don't... I guess driving's really the only thing you don't want to do. Because, like...
Operate heavy machinery, but honestly, how likely is it that that opportunity is going to come up while you're plastered?
Right, you know, because, you know, that after you have a couple of drinks, you're just going to have to, you know, you're going to have to not tend the fields, or, you know, use that forklift to get down that pallet of, oh, shit. What was it I said earlier today that if they sold it, I would buy it by the pallet? I think it was banana runts. Like, if they sold just the banana, I would buy it by the pallet. So, yeah, if you've been drinking, that pallet of banana runts is just going to have to stay where it is. Don't operate your forklift to move it anywhere, because that'll just be a huge mess of banana runts. And,
the world can't afford to lose that many banana runts.
I know.
To your irresponsibility.
Yeah, what the fuck? How dare you? There are countries with starving children that would really like to have those banana runts that you've spilled all over the dirty warehouse floor.
Including the U.S.
All over the dirty warehouse floor.
That was always my response to... Always response to there are starving children in Africa. There are starving children here.
Yeah. Well, you know, you go with the trope because it works.
Well, fair enough.
Yeah. There's starving people, not just children. It's kind of cruel to just think of the children. I know that's not something you usually say, but there shouldn't be starving people at all.
So I always love when people talk about how we should go all organic. Like, I was listening to someone give a speech on it, and they were like, if we went to all organic growth, we could feed two-thirds of the population. And I was just like, so the other third can just suck a dick.
2/3 of the population. Bullshit. Bullshit and a half.
As strange as it may seem to any super eco-friendly people out there, we don't use pesticides because the corporations want to kill you. We use them because it keeps our crops from being fucking eaten by bugs and wildlife.
Yeah, and we eat genetically modified food and food that's soaked in preservatives so it actually lasts more than 3 days. It's not...
Well, we technically genetically modified food, like, from the beginning of agriculture.
Yeah. And we also make it so it produces more food. Not, you know, to poison you slowly, like you nuts seem to think.
We'll put it this way, if the PlayStation is putting these in and killing you, they are killing their consumer base. I don't claim to be a businessman, but that seems like a dumb thing to do.
Yeah. And with that, I think we're gonna, with that bit of preachy anti-preachism that we just had there, that concludes today's thing. Mike, do you have anything to say to our
Next
fair
time
public?
on Dragon Ball Z.
We'll try not to insult a large possible group of fan base people that we could have.
I might get more scotch, so I make no promises as to how insulting I may or may not be.
Well, I'm talking about the next time on our Dragon Warrior episodes, not next thing we record. So you're good to go. I make no promises about what happens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I make no promises about what happens, in Super Mario RPG that we're gonna do now. But in the next Dragon Warrior, I can promise you, we're not gonna make fun of the people we just made fun of. We'll make fun of somebody else.
Be prepared.